I'm back. Can you now hear me? Excellent. My keyboard appears to be back online. I rejigged the USB ports, plugged in my keyboard again, restarted. Everything's working. But if it stops working, that's it. I'm calling it a night. I've had enough of this shit. Fucking bullshit. I'm upset about my Wolfgar model actually. That's very disappointing. It's so great, but this is the thing, you never know. Always got to check. And that is not an appropriate scale difference for Wolfgar, son of Bjorngar, and Drizzt Do'Urden. So we search for a new Wolfgar. Alright, here is my first plan. It may be an awful plan. Okay, so here is the plan. We instead use He-Man. He-Man! Do you know, that was my first thought. I'll just put him in the back. No one will fucking notice. Put him up on a rock so he looks way taller. But I think that would not work. So this is the Son of Eternia, He-Man, riding Battle Cat model. And he's the guy who rides the lion. He looks a little bit stupid at the moment. But I can probably rejig his legs, stand him up straight up, do a bit of sculpting, and we can make that work. I sort of don't mind that head. It's not as Conan-esque as the other one, but it doesn't have that really nice, strong jawline. The chin. But I think that could work actually. What little doodads have we got in here we could give him though? Make it a little bit cooler. Yeah, maybe this will work actually. So he's a similar scale to Drizzt, and he's got this kick-ass cloak. So if I just sculpted that to look a little bit more like it's like it's flowing in the breeze. That might work. Fuck, maybe I'm doing some sculpting now. Fuck. Wolfgar never used the shield though. And his hand's attached to the shield. I can cut that hand out. What a demoralising experience I'm having right now. All of my streaming's going to shit. Yeah, I'll definitely cut the legs. I'm not just gonna have him standing like he's about to take a shit. Oh, I was so excited for this Wolfgar. So excited, I thought it was going to be perfect. But that is, I can't get over that scale difference, eh? Yeah, I've done a bit of sculpting, Penny. I'll go okay, mate. I can't get over that they both reckon they're 75 mil. If they did, would we even hear it? Wolfgar and Drizzt back to back. Except Drizzt is twice the size of him, even though he's a slight elf. Don't love it. How does he look next to Catti-brie? Because it's actually Catti-brie he's going to be standing next to. Yeah, see, that's much better. But he's doing the He-Man of Eternia. I have the power! Alright. Morlock is a no-go. So the second option is we go for a Conan sculpt. By Black Sun. By one of the Black Sun or one of those guys. Because they're a lot bigger. Oh, that's right, I did this one. Fuck, this is a great sculpt, by the way. I forgot I did this. Awesome. Here, I'll show it on screen. Hi, Bug King. Yeah, this, I painted that long time ago. Fuck me, that would be 4 years ago. Over 4 years. How cool. But his whole head is like really askew and not correct. It's very hard. Oh, unlucky. So we could go for this one. For Wolfgar. You know what we could do? We could go for that one, bring his arm down to a more resting pose, his right arm, and then have the He-Man head. Problem with that is I can't do it now, and I was really excited to get started on this piece. Oh dear. This is the problem with mixing scale manufacturers. Things don't always work right. Just trying to think of other barbarian miniature companies. Black Crow. Don't think they do any barbarians. Nope. Here's another fun one that I did. How exciting. Hi Paul. It's been a demoralising start to the show, mate. I was super amped. There we go. I did that one. They're both from Black Crow. Cool models. No, I don't see any barbarians for them. Nocturna. Wonder if we go with... Nocturna did a Thor model. So the other obvious one was Thunder from the Kickstarter, but he's just very aggressive. Very aggressive. These are 70 mil. Oh. Yeah, what about this Thor? No, he just looks like fucking Thor. Alright. I think it's gonna have to be... He-Man of Eternia. Instead of Morlock from Chimera. I still like the Morlock model, right? So I'm still happy I've got that. That's a cool model. I'm looking forward to painting that. This is going to be like a full resculpt, friends. Oh, why is everything struggling so much today? Hmm. Well, I always intended to turn this guy into a standing barbarian because I used the cat for something else. Now's as good a time as any, I suppose. Alright, I made the call. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. That's going to be a fun off-stream activity. Unless you would like to see me attempt to sculpt on screen. On the stream. Let's do something that we're reasonably good at, friends. Let's paint some models. That'll make me feel better. He says, hopefully. That one. Morning Kung Fu, evening Kung Fu. Well, I'm not sure, Paul. This is the problem. The barbarian that I purchased for my diorama is significantly out of scale, and it just won't work. So I need to reevaluate my plan. Come up with a new model. I had some other backup plans, but they're not really as good as the plan I had with Morlock. So if you have another barbarian that may be suitable for Wulfgar, son of Bjorngar from the Drizzt series, I'd be happy to see it. Before I go and have a look at that one, Paul, I think I know which one it is. Wulfgar is a very young man in the book series. He does not have a beard. He grows a beard later in the series. Yep. Alright, shake it off, Jenna. Shake it off. We're painting. Every day is a good day when you paint. Probably would have been worthwhile not attaching the arms, having them both just be blue tacked. so that I can pull them off and work on this. This is blue tacked. This one I glued into place. I am Kung Fu, well spotted. Much paler colours. Oh, thanks. Orometaperdido. So I went to visit a friend yesterday, and he is a dude who has all of the 3D printing gear out there. Yes, it will work with airbrush glazing Kung Fu. It will. He's all about that 3D printing life, and we sat down and talked about all of the stuff I'm getting him to print for me for my future diorama. Man, there's so much cool shit out there. You've got to try and fail when it comes to airbrush glazing and airbrushing in general before you can succeed. It's too much feel. It's not an exact science, it depends on each of the airbrushes and variety of components. Yeah, I think I'm going to do some airbrushing on this now actually, because hey Snick Son. Oh yeah, they can be very, very strong saturated colours. They'll punch you. They'll punch you in the face. Thanks, mate. Oh, I'm rattled by that Wolfguard. Fucking rattled. Hi, Match Fixer. Hi. So my girlfriend's a massive fan of the Royals. Hello. Thanks, Chris P. Minis. Thanks for following in. Hello, Wamposaurus. What's happening? Take it off, mate. Take the mold off. The fans want to see it. The fans want to see it. Let me have a look. Let me have a look at that Barbarian Yanmar. I'm excited. Alright, Wamposaurus does know what he's talking about, so that's good. Well, I got to tell you, Wamposaurus. You know what sucks about it? White metal. I fucking hate metal. Hate metal. Yeah, so we had a bit of a stumbling block today, Wumposaurus. This model turned up, Pulvis, my Wolfgar plan, and it is significantly smaller than Drizzed, which is a problem, as you well know. So we're going to backup plan, which is not ideal. Yeah, I know. And we're going to use the He-Man of Eternia riding Battle Cat model from Black Sun, but he's riding Battle Cat, so he looks like he is taking a shit at the moment. So we're going to have to rely on my very substandard sculpting skills. They're okay. To get this to look like a dude who is standing there. That's the plan. How's the base looking, Snickson? Let's have a look, mate. Oh, very cool. Very cool. Yeah, he's dropping a massive load on the ground. The water effects. Oof. I like that a lot. Hello, Housefire Hawk. I don't love the rocks. Get painting on the rocks, son. Rocks are not grey. Don't be ridiculous with your grey rocks. Rocks have way more colours. Get way more colours in there. So speaking of way more colours, we are going to use this colour, Signal Blue. They're all the same scale, mate. They're all 75mm. So someone's lying. Some miniature manufacturer is fucking with us for their own enjoyment. It's 75mm though. 75mm is the scale we're looking at. I'll tell you what might be a shout actually. Look for a 90mm scale. Because I reckon that might feel more Wolfgar-y if we get a 90mm scale. I'm open to ideas. I mean, I can definitely sculpt something. What's that one, Paul? It's a Black Sun. The dude pointing the finger, is it? Oh yeah, yeah, that's a cool one. It's actually it's not too bad. It's not too bad. It just doesn't. The Wolfgar's there's some pretty cool artwork of Wolfgar out there, and he's a very attractive man. And that guy looks like an unattractive man. Oh, Topulus, you're raiding in with yourself. Don't spoil it in case people want to read it, mate. In case. Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. He's significantly less attractive after that. Topulus given a raid. Thanks for the raid, buddy. Oh, chase that feeling. That is a great name. Alright, I'm feeling a little better now, friends. I'm feeling a little better. Taking the hits. Doing some airbrushing. Always feel better when I can do some airbrushing. Let's get a contrast paint out. Is this because you started streaming, mate? Do it. Stream. Don't forget to stream. Cool, man. Well, send me your links and stuff when you get started, mate, because I will definitely not participate. But I'll give you a follow. And a share on the socials. Oh, Miss Jana, hosting, thank you. Well, that might mean she's not here. But she was here earlier. Oh, hi! Awesome! It's been such a weird stream tonight, friends. Let's get it back on track. Let's do some cool stuff. Is that one of my projects? Am I going to click on that and see one of the models I painted, Paul? Because if I am, I support this plan. That was a cool model. Can I tell you that? He was also very small. Surprisingly small. Which ones are you talking about on this model? The one that I'm painting now, or just something else? Just the colours of my pallid skin tones in my face. Cool, man. I like him at the moment. We'll see if that continues. Topulus, did you get onto WandaVision, mate? Did you have the nice date night with the misso? You up to speed or what? Aren't you just frothing for the next episode? I am frothing. Mind you, I'm quite partial to a good froth every now and then. Which company did I order what from? Yeah, it's going great, hey, young man. Which company did I order what from? Oh, good plan, Finn. Good plan. Hello, mate. Didn't see you there. It's Chimera Models, mate. Chimera. I have to say, Finn, you seem to have a lot of animal-related troubles in your life. That's a large number of animals, Finn. Might I recommend having less animals? I was explaining to one of my workmates about WandaVision, and I said to him, it's sort of, if you know nothing about the Marvel Universe, you'll probably watch it and think it's really, really ordinary. But if you're a big fan of the Marvel Universe and what's been happening in the show, you'll probably think it's incredible once you get into the meat of the season. It's just taking its time to build up. Okay. Alright. Let's try making this metal look like metal, maybe. Is The Expanse based on a book series? That is not a fact I was aware of. Huh. Awesome. So this week's gaming group game, I'm not sure what we'll be playing tomorrow night. Lost Ruins of Arnak was okay. Didn't do anything revolutionary that we've not seen before. But everyone had a bit of fun playing it, so that was nice. But yeah, we might play something different. Oh, who's not coming? Freezy. What do we want to play at 3? Maracaibo. Maracaibo. I'm going to bring Chantel tomorrow night, actually. I was going to. Oh, thanks, Corvus Oculum. I think that means something cool. Those little purple things. Speaking of shows I really enjoyed, I watched Warrior Nun last year. That was a show I really enjoyed. It wasn't actually very good, but it's just enjoyable to watch. Raw. Yeah, it really was terrible. It really was terrible. But it was also great. And the one complaint I had about it was that the show reached the cool point that the whole season was building towards. And you were just like, fuck yeah, this is the best. And then it just ended and they went on to season 2. And that was a bit annoying. Because I was ready for it to go ballistic. That was based on a comic book property. Some comic book property. Loosely based. Warrior. Morning, Loophole. I'm going to paint it to look like my little kitty cat, Little Peach. Little Peach Fathers. She popped in for a little friendly visit last night. It was nice. Always like seeing her. Alright, stand by. I'm going to have a look, Wamposaurus. Ah, Lopez, the big man. You are welcome. Yeah, it's too beardy. Too beardy, mate. Too much beard. Yeah. Indeed. You got it, pal. It's all about the right yaw. I'm pretty sure I don't need to tell you that he doesn't have short hair. I don't know if I've actually shown this on stream before, but well, this isn't as risque as it sounds. You know, this model actually has a whole other chunk that sits at the back of it. This whole thing. Oh, hi, Romfig. Yeah, this big wheel thing sits at the back of her. It's fucking mad. I'm excited by that. What's happening in the world of Romfig? Anything exciting? That's okay. Welcome anyway. My friend Randall doesn't speak English either, and he's still on the chat. Rezo974, did I follow you on Instagram, or are you talking to some other legend? If I did follow you on Instagram, that's a pretty big achievement, mate. I don't follow many people on Instagram. Or Twitter, actually. I think I follow about 12 people on Twitter. influencer. People pay me to promote their products and I don't have to do anything. The best. Oh, I did actually fucking sign up to TikTok yesterday. No shit. So this is the thing, right? I went over to chat to that guy who's a 3D printing mate of mine. And we were chatting away and he's like, yeah man, I got on a TikTok. And I said, what the fuck is wrong with you, mate? Seriously, TikTok. I didn't know you were into dancing on social media. And he's like, no. There's a really, really good miniature painting community on there. And I was like, oh, okay. I don't believe a word you're saying, but fair enough. So he showed me and he went and I signed up for a TikTok account and I posted a video yesterday, earlier today. Got a whole heap of views. I think I'm at 2 views now, which is fucking exciting stuff. It's always good to be humbled by life. Oh, Eloy X Ribas. Hello. Hey, what's happening? What do we got there, Wumposaurus? Is it something I need to inspect? Is it good enough, do you think, for me to break away from the painting and have a Bo Peep? What is up with you and beards, mate? I don't want to have a beard. You're killing me. Nah. It's this. I've decided we're sculpting this to look like Wulfgar, son of Bjorngar. Somehow, I will make it happen. I think we can do it. I can always hide it behind some other bits if it looks awful. Which it will. You know what else keeps you warm in cold environments, mate? Blankets. What culture is that, out of interest, mate? Awesome. Good for you. We had sounds tangential, but it is actually related. We had a football game on the weekend. Commences the start of the season of rugby league with this game, and a few years ago they came up with the premise. It's a Aboriginal, Indigenous peoples of Australia, for those who are unfamiliar, versus the Indigenous people of the New Zealand islands, or the Maoris, or the correct pronunciation is the Maldives. So they get together and they represent those two people, cultures, and they play a game of rugby league. There's a lot of other games throughout the year which represents countries and states, but that's the only one that sort of represents culture, which is really, really interesting. But what is awesome is at the start of that, they both do their traditional dances. So for the New Zealand side, the Maori side, they do their haka, which if you have not seen the haka, it is fucking legit. But then the Indigenous Australians do their tribal dance, which is not as recognisable as the haka, but equally as cool in its own way. So that was really cool to see that. So I like the cultural heritage piece. Thank you for sharing, Wampa. I am indeed an Aussie Eloy ex Ribas. Yeah, the Sippy Tau, the Tongan one, is pretty awesome. Last year they had New Zealand versus Tonga. It was Sippy Tau and the haka, and it just went absolutely off. It was unreal. That's good, mate. I'm glad that you enjoyed your time here. I enjoy living here. G'day, Scale Painter. Nimbin. That's actually not too far from where I am. It's about 2 hours, hour and a half. If you watch the making of the Lord of the Rings DVD series, the haka is a pretty traditional. Traditional. Celery. Oh, come on now, mate. Come on, you can't be that name-changing guy. Why can't you just stream a celery? Ridiculous. The Maori people will do the haka as a sign of respect for someone that they're they like or whatever. And they also have a traditional bumping of the heads, a head greeting, where they bump each other's heads. And it became an ongoing thing between Viggo Mortensen, the guy who played Aragorn, and some of the stuntmen that they would every time they saw each other, they'd be like, and they'd headbutt each other. But it got really hard after a while, and they were like fully headbutting each other. Well, they stopped filming, and they all said their goodbyes and what have you, and then they got back together for the tour of the filming, or the films being released, and they had a press thing where you see those two guys see each other for the first time in, 6 months, 12 months, whatever, and they immediately just go and fucking headbutt each other. Bang! Classic. Alright, I'm okay with all you guys streaming, right? I know I've inspired you all, and I appreciate that. But don't be fucking streaming at the same time as me, alright, you peanuts. Otherwise, I'm going to drop in viewership by, well, at least 2. Good, mate. I'd appreciate that. And look, if you need any advice on how to make your stream like really legit setup, don't ask me. Because after today's efforts, I was about ready to pack up and go home. Fortunately, I'm already home, so it would have been relatively quick. Alright, thanks Wampa. What mandatory behind the stuff? I got this. Those shows are so good, by the way. If you've never watched them, do yourself a favour, go buy the DVDs and just watch the making of. So good. Oh yeah. What about that time he broke his foot kicking the helmet, filming the Two Towers, and that was the shot they ended up using in the film. It was awesome. Ah, Drax! G'day, mate. Thanks for the raid, buddy. Yeah, very cool sculpt, Baba Yaga. Thanks, Draxy, you champion. Should I go and get out my finished Maddox from Black Sun to show off, friends? Yeah, it's a great sculpt, Jan. I do love this sculpt. I was very excited to paint it, so much so that I rigged the votes. That's what people think anyway. Yeah, the cat head sucked. Well, here's my attempt at removing it, mate. A little bit of putty. Not that much. Alright, I'll go get Maddox. I'm going to grab a beer too, actually. I feel like drinking a beer tonight. So look, here's the thing, friends. I took this model over to my friend's house, the 3D printing friend, and it was great. And Pet Cemetery, that's a cool idea. And I showed him this, and I took it over to his house, put it on the bench, and he was fucking blown away, which is part of the course of Big Deno's works, right? But I was actually super chuffed with it. I sat there and looked at it for a while. I was like, yeah, that looks fucking sweet. You go away sometimes from your work, have a bit of distance, and then think about, what you could have done differently and what you could have done better, which I did. But then I also came back and I really liked what it ended up as. So, yeah, vintage, absolute vintage Deno. Good call, Northfire. You bang on, mate. That's like back in the glory days of Oz Machine. Legit. There's a few things I'd do differently. So one thing I think I was really happy with is actually this whole bass. Like, it ended up, early on, the bass felt like it was the same tones as this, and it came out just with these really weird off-kilter green tones, which just feels like in keeping with the ethereal weirdness of everything. I completely agree with that, Topulus, and that we can thank chat directly for that, because that was their suggestion, and I really think it did help with that final, just bringing the focus to there even a little bit more. Even though this little patch of helmet is very bright, just gives you that focal point, which is awesome. So yeah, chuffed with that. That's one of my best ones recently, friends. I really like that. A dog's breakfast, yes! Yes, that's such a long time ago. You superstar! Oh, wow. Fans who've only just started watching Big Deno on Twitch wouldn't know that I'm a long-time celebrity from both YouTube and Twitter and podcast universe. Mate, I was Dog's Breakfast, so good. That was a good series of Dog's Breakfasts. Great series. What a time to be alive. Big Deno at the peak of his powers. Channels. Oh, Lopez. One of your best. Absolutely one of your best. Nah, the face. Oh. Yeah, it's just, I think it's the right choice, hey. The model's got the really attractive face and the mirror, which is nice. But when you got this cool peel on the face off thing, I don't know how you can't not go for that one. Yeah, wow, lots of great memories. I was actually chatting to Moopsy the other day. He wants us to do a reunion episode of Oz Machine. And yeah, so he's like, yeah, so just organise that for me, Deno, that'd be great. I said, alright mate, I'll just do that in all my fucking spare time, will I? Thanks, Jan. You know, it's interesting. My normal photography right now, right? Like, I've got my phone camera, and the phone always over sharpens and details pictures and makes it look better than it is. But my camera photos used to be really good, and I've just lost the touch recently. Mate, this is a mixture of the following colours. Pete LeBlanc. Have I told the Pete LeBlanc story on this Twitch channel? I've got to tell it. I'll tell it right now. Give me a second. I'll answer fucking Drax's question. Mate, it's a mixture. So what I did is I've got blue, Signal Blue from Vallejo Model Air, and Chimera Black, and I mixed those two together, and then I mixed some pastel blue and some of this yellow colour, which is German yellow, into those colours to create a greeny grey. The yellow and the blue, Signal Blue, mixed together to create a greeny, and then the black desaturates it, and then the this colour here, which is the light flesh, I'm adding that into this mix, which is like a pinky colour. So So I'm trying to do something that's a little bit more desaturated than my normal colour scheme. Ergo, the guy that I just showed in that fucking picture. So just something a little bit more, less eye punching when you look at it. All right, so I'm gonna tell this story. So I'll try and stay on track. Oh mate, I've got a lot of stories. Oh, g'day Shezza. What a great fucking name, very Australian. Shezza. Okay, I'm gonna tell this story. If I break down in tears, I apologise in advance. So, over the last few years of my life, many years, I've been involved in international travel for tournaments, right? Miniature tournaments. And I played in quite a few incredible events all across the world. But one of the best ones, the ones that I remember with most fondness, is we travelled as a team for team events. And so we'd have a 2-week holiday with a bunch of gamers, and we'd all book the same flights, and we'd arrive at the same time, and we'd spend 2 weeks together in the lead up to a tournament, and then we'd play the tournament that we'd also practice for and train for, and then we'd go home. So it was a great time. So that group of people that I used to travel with, those guys are still to this day all of my best friends, and those guys are funny fuckers, right? There's some funny fuckers in that group. So we had this one guy who used to live just around the corner from me. His name's David. We call it David Potts is his name. So everyone used to call him Potsy. And he was a fucking hilarious character, right? Absolutely one of the funniest guys I've ever met in my life. Just this really oddball sense of humour. And he used to have a laugh that I was a podcast celebrity, right? And then I used to do all these videos things. He just used to think that was great stuff. Anyway, but I was always, well, look, there's been times in my life when I've had a bit of an ego. It's certainly less prevalent these days than it used to be. But Moopsy, young James Morehouse, my good friend, who was also extremely good at miniature wargaming, at the time when we were going on these trips, was still very young, and he used to be a bit of a whipping boy for the group, right? Bunch of guys go out on a holiday, they always pick on someone, and Moopsy was the target. So one day we're doing a warm-up game. I'm sorry, this is a long story, right? But the payoff should be worth it. There was this program we used to practice our games on. It was called Vassal. So all the guys I used to play games with, we lived on opposite sides of Australia, which is effectively like living on opposite sides of Europe. It's a gigantic distance to travel. So we used to get on this program called Vassal, which allowed us to play some games, practice against each other, and just generally hang out. But because we were practicing for an international tournament, we all used to have like fake names on this thing so that people wouldn't know that it was us. Sounds dumb, but when the international events, there was quite a few people that went to all the events and sort of knew each other. We knew all the Germans, all those guys, all the Pommies, all the Americans. We all knew each other relatively well. So we're set up for this game on Vassal, and it's between Potsy and another guy. And James has decided that he's just going to go on Vassal and have a look at what games are being played, trying to get intel on other countries, right? And he stumbles across this game between Potsy and this other guy who's also Australian. But because they've both changed their names and he doesn't know about it, he stumbled into this game and he doesn't realise that he knows these people. And they're like, "Oh, wow, are you James Morehouse from Oz Machine?" And Moopsy, with the ego, he's like, yeah, that is me. Yes, I am James. Yes, you're welcome. You're welcome. Hello." And these two guys just go, well, Potsy's like, "I don't think he knows it's us, Jeff. I don't think he knows it's us." So they decide to do a bit of a prank on him. So this is about, 6 months before we're scheduled to travel overseas for the event, right? So we're getting some practice in early. And they, they're like, oh, wow, James, you're so great. You're so fantastic. We love you so much. Can we chat some more? James was like, yeah, no problems, mate. Just add me on Facebook. It's no worries. I'd love to chat. Love to chat to the fans. You know how it is, friends. Love to chat to the fans. So Potsy goes away and he could not believe that Moopsy didn't know who it was. So Potsy gets on Facebook and he creates a fake account. Now, that sounds like an absolute red flag, right? Dead set giveaway. Oh, there's a fake account. But he goes, oh, hi James, it's Pete from Vassal the other night. I created a Facebook account so we could chat because I've never chatted on Facebook before. I never had an account. And so Moopsy's like, well, this sounds a bit weird, but okay, cool. Thanks for signing up to Facebook just so you could chat to me, mate. And thus commences one of the greatest catfishes of all time, right? There was no maliciousness to it. It was just a couple of blokes having a good time. And so Potsy got me in on the act relatively early on, and they used to chat via email. So Moopsy would be like, he'd come to the team chat, and he'd be like, oh guys, I got another fucking email from Pete last night. You're not gonna fucking believe this. And so he'd post in the chat, Pete is actually Potsy, and like half the people in the chat know this and know what's happening. And Moosey starts off super innocent, right? It's like, oh James, I'm such a big fan, of your playing. Can we meet up at the WTC? We want to catch up and get your autograph and stuff. James is like, well, I've always got time for the fan. I love to catch up, mate. Let's catch up. Let's do it. You and me. We'll be great. And then it turned into an even more elaborate prank, right? So he basically said to James is an attractive guy, said, my boyfriend's really excited to meet you, my boyfriend. And so Potsy's done some research and he found out that the eighth most popular name for men in Europe, for gay men in Europe, was Milan. So he decided that his boyfriend's name was Milan. And he said, oh yeah, Milan and I are really excited to meet you, James. We're really big fans of you from the show and all this other stuff, and can't wait to meet you. And James was like, oh, okay, cool, mate. Yeah, I'm happy to meet up with anyone. Yeah, it's great. Whatever you want. So Potsy, being the weird cat that he is, he's like, hey, Milan would really love it if you could send us a photo of yourself. Just like for us. And James, he's such a sweet kid. And then he goes and does stuff like this because he doesn't want to upset people. He's like, all right, but you can't tell anyone. You can't share this, right? So, so James sends a shirtless photo of himself to this email address. And Potsy just loses his shit, right? Can't believe he sent this picture. And then James goes, oh, well, you better send me a photo back about who you really are, because this is all a bit weird. So James is like messaging the chat that Potsy's in. He's like, I don't know, something about this feels really weird, guys. Hey, look, I don't know who this is, but it's just really weird. And Potsy's like, why don't you get him to send you a photo with it says, hi James, with a picture of him. So this is of course Potsy suggesting this. Potsy's suggesting this to James without realising that Potsy's the guy doing it. So Moosey's like, oh yeah, Pete, the guy's name was Pete LeBlanc, for what it's worth. Pete, can you send me a photo of you, just saying hi from wherever you're from. I can't remember where they said he was from. It's classic. So Potsy runs over to one of his workmates at work, who's this really weird looking dude. He goes, hey mate, can you just hold this sign up and I'm just going to take a photo of you? And the guy's like, okay. And the sign says, hi James from Pete LeBlanc, and it's this weird bearded dude. I'll see if I can find the photo because it's fucking classic. Oh, it's fucking classic. This is so good. Anyway, so I'll continue this story while I try to find this photo. So Potsy's just getting right into this, right? Absolutely smashing it, and they're sending emails back and forth. And then Potsy's like, oh, you should get your mate Jeff. Get your mate Jeff to send us a shirtless pic as well. Jeff is of course completely in on this because Jeff was the guy who was playing the game. James is like, oh Jeff, this guy, he's just a big fan, mate. Can you just do me a favour? send me a shirtless pic. And Jeff's like, I'm not sending you a shirtless pic, mate. Don't be fucking ridiculous. But he then does a Photoshop where he takes Jeff's head and he puts it on like a fantasy art body, just like a shirtless dude, big buff dude going like this. And then he goes, just send him this, mate, just send him this. But it's so obviously a Photoshop. So he sends it to him, right? And then Potsy creates his whole narrative about Pete and Milan have decided to break up because Jeff sent this photo and Milan got insanely jealous, right? So Potsy was doing so much great stuff. Like, he was typing his emails like the English wasn't his first language. He kept changing his, like, the way he was phrasing sentences and stuff. It was fucking magic. So he sends it back. He's like, oh, James, I've got some really unfortunate news. It doesn't look like it doesn't look like Milan's going to be coming to the WTC. We've had a really horrible, breakup, and we're not talking together now. And, this is... Look, I don't want to say that it's your fault, but these nude pictures you've been sending, they're just a bit inappropriate, and I appreciate it if you wouldn't. James was like, you're the one who asked me to send these pictures, mate. So anyway, this is like 3 months out from the WTC. I promise you, this story gets better. You will not believe it. It gets better. So they patch things up, Milan and Pete, which is wonderful. Everyone in the chat is like loving it. By this stage, Moops is the only one who doesn't know that this is happening. Every other person in the 10-person chat knows that Potsy is Pete and Moops is getting catfished like fucking crazy. So we go on the holiday, right? So we get the holiday, and Moopsy has had a chat with Pete just before the trip, and Pete's like, hey mate, I desperately want to meet you before the tournament. Can we meet up and just have a chat, have some drinks or something? It'd be great. Have a great time. We just really want to meet you. We're big fans. Me and Milan, we're big fans. Who knows what'll happen? We'll just see what happens. We'll see how the night takes us. Moopsy's losing his shit. He's like, I don't want to fucking meet this guy, man. This is freaking me out. He's gonna try and have sex with me. And we're all like, no. He's just a nice guy, man. He's just a big fan. So we get on the holiday. We go to Poland. This is in Poland. So we're in a backpackers in Poland in a hostel. The best time. We're going to the hostel nights. We're doing beer pong and everything. It's fucking so good. So Moopsy's chatting to Pete, and we're in one of those dorms where there's 10 tables, right? 10 beds, and we're all sitting on opposite sides looking at each other. So on one side of the room is Potsy. He's on the top bunk, and on the other side of the room on the bottom bunk is Moopsy. And Moopsy says, oh my God, Pete's messaging me, right? And so we're all sort of looking at Potsy. Potsy's like, and typing away. And then Moopsy be like, you hear Moopsy's phone buzz, ping, and we'd all whip over and look at Moopsy, and we look at Moopsy's face. You just hear Potsy chuckling to himself. And we just kept bouncing back and forth, looking at the two messaging. And anyway, Pete said to Moopsy, oh mate, let's catch up. We'll catch up tonight. We're going to go out for drinks. It's going to be great. Where are you staying? We'll come and pick you up. And James is like, oh, we're like, yeah, just tell him, mate, just tell him, be fine. So Moopsy says, yeah, we're staying at the Mosquito Hostel in this fucking spot. Yeah, no problems. We'll call it 8 o'clock, mate. How's 8 o'clock? And he was real nervous. So we were like, okay, let's go for a walk, Moopsy. We'll go for a walk in town. It'd be great. So Potsy has grabbed a bit of paper and written on a bit of paper a little note. And he's then run over to the girls at the counter, who I'd been tuning the whole time, by the way. They're absolutely massive fans of Big Deno. And we just had a chat. And he's like, hey, look, can you do me a favour? We're just going out for a group. Can you just put this note on that guy's pillow? Just real subtle. No one else noticed it except for me. I was looking at him, I was like, magnificent. So we come back, and Moopsy comes over. We had a great walk around. We grabbed some beers. We're all excited for the night. Everyone's like, "I'll give a Moopsy shit about Pete." Moopsy comes back and he's like, "Oh my God, there's a letter on my pillow." So he opens it up and it's like, "Oh, hi James. It was Pete. Pete, and we stopped by to say hello. And when you weren't here, we just thought we'd leave you this note. So I laid down on your bed and smelled your pillow a bit. Ha 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 ha. See you tonight. Bye." And so Moopsy's losing his shit. He's like freaking out. It's like, this is so weird. What is happening? I'm not coping with this situation. We all know it's Potsy. We all know it's Potsy the whole fucking time, right? And so this story, we're just like, mate, come on, Moopsy. It's gonna be fine. Go out for drinks. It's gonna be fine. I'm sure he's not gonna try and have sex with you. It's so great. Just get in there, mate. Have a good time. Anyway, and then Potsy sees how much he's freaking out, right? Because Moops, there'd always been like probably 20% of him that thought, no, this is just stitch up, someone's having a laugh here. But I think when the note came out, he realised that it was all far too real. So Potsy sent a message, oh, Milan and I have had a fight. It doesn't look like we're going to be able to go out tonight, so we'll just catch you at another time. Can't wait to see you at the tournament. And so Moopsy was like, we took him out to dinner. We went out to dinner at a kebab shop because he'd sent pictures of Pete and Milan, what they look like. And so we're all sitting at the table eating our kebabs, and we hear someone else come into the kebab shop, and there's, the bell jingles, jing, and Potsy goes, oh, is that Milan? And Moopsy he just went, fuck, like white as a ghost. We thought he was gonna die. It was so funny. So we're all just losing our shit. Every time Potsy talks, he just got this chuckle on. Anyway, so the next morning we wake up, and Potsy comes over to Moopsy. He goes, hey James, I've got something to tell you, mate. And Moopsy's like, what? He hadn't had a wink of sleep the night before. So like, I just wanted to tell you that I'm Pete. And Moopsy's like, oh, like he didn't know whether to be overjoyed with excitement that it wasn't a real person, or so fucking enraged that Potsy had tuned in for the last 6 months. It was hysterical, mate. I've never laughed so hard in my life, and I got some of it on film. So, because we did a little video diary for our WTC trip. Let me see if I can find it. Poland. What was it? I'll just go to my YouTube. Anyway, it was without a doubt one of the funniest things I've ever seen happen in my life. And poor Moopsy, a journey to Poland. Thanks, Nosfire. It was just like, it was world class. And Potsy, I don't know how, but mate, he kept it going for like 6 months, where he'd be sending an email every couple of days, making up stories. Oh, fuck, it was incredible. I still, to this day, I think this might be it. Iposaurus, look at the big guy. Zooming in there, not bad, demo. Oh, I feel okay. This is the YouTube. This is the YouTube video where we told Moops about it. So you can watch that. That's the boys on the trip. Oh, the pillow smelling was fucking classic. Potsy was absolutely on fire that day. So that's a video that's got all of the boys in it and Moopsy and stuff, and you can watch if you want to watch it. It's pretty funny, but yeah, I didn't film that because we were trying to be surreptitious up to that point. We didn't want Moopsy to know that he was getting trolled like crazy, but Jesus, good. All right, I'm gonna try and find the Pete picture now, because the Pete picture is what sells it. It's what sells it so good. Ah, dear, oh dear. Great times. All right, I'm gonna try and find this might take a little while, so. But yeah, we've had some funny stuff happen. Like, yeah, I've got a lot of stories. I just fucking hell, Pete. Pete LeBlanc. Every couple of weeks we just be like, hey Moops, how's Pete going? What makes the story even funnier, right, is so we had another friend, who's Sheldon, who came with us the next year, the year after Pete's story, and he didn't have a Facebook, and he refused to sign up for Facebook, so we wanted to get him in our chat groups, so we gave him Pete LeBlanc, Pete LeBlanc's Facebook profile that Potsy had created, so he kept messaging the chat group, and he's kept popping up, oh, Pete says this. We could always see Moosey just kept having like twitches there every time something happened. Every time Sheldon had messaged the chat. It was fucking gold. I better check if anyone's said anything interesting. It's Steakhouse. Ba, ba, ba. Great times. Yeah, we had a really good time with overseas travel. I mean, I could continue to share very funny stories like that probably for the next 6 months of my streams, because we had a ripping good time. A great group. I mean, we're all, oh, there it is. I've got it. Oh, hang on. Yes. Dr. Flink, hello, mate. Oh, here it is. So this is I forgot the specific context of it, but this is what the picture was. Oh, that's what he said. That's his workmate. That's Potsy's workmate. What a creeper. Oh. Oh. Anyway, there you go. I wonder if I can find the picture of Jeff that caused the breakup between him and Milan. Jeez, it was gold times. Fucking hell. Oh dear. Amazing. We had some good times in Ireland. So we went. I've been on 7 international trips now, I think, for Toy Soldiers. So we had the first one we went to was the Warhammer ETC in 2009, and that was great. 2010 we went back. The first year I went over as like a documentarian because I was filming lots of stuff back then, filming videos and shit. So I went over as like a scribe, and then the next year I actually qualified in 2010. 2011 we took a year off, and in 2012 we went overseas for the War Machine ETC. We got into the final, and we lost the final to Germany. It was really cool. The next year I did both Lock and Load in Seattle because I qualified for the Iron Gauntlet individual event, and we did the WTC, which was in Poland. Then the next year after that we went to the WTC in Ireland, and again, so we finished 4th on 4 separate occasions. So, but it was great times, really great times, and every one of those trips we had fucking stories and moments like that. Alright, I'm ready to get back into painting now, friends. Cheers, Pete LeBlanc. Now, I like just telling stories whenever stories pop into my head. I like just being able to tell a funny story whenever one jumps up. But you guys can all thank Norsefire for that, because he is the one who brought us down memory lane. One of those Poland videos. So we went. Oh, Peach is here. Hey, Peach. Hey, meow. Look, Peachy. Hey. I'm painting a little peach. Oh, that's you, mate. I'm painting that. Off you go. Yeah, so as I said, during that trip we had 2 weeks before we went to the actual tournament itself, and so the first tournament was in Poland, and we were staying in Krakow. But we decided that we would go to this little town which was just outside of Krakow, about 2 hours, and it was called Zakopane. And it was a really awesome little town. And we rented out a whole Airbnb room for 10 of us. No, I didn't. That actually, Lopez is telling a true story there. I found a cat in the bin at work a few years ago, and I took it to the vets because I was going to adopt it, but unfortunately it had some health problems, probably from being dumped in a bin, and so they had to put it down. So I decided to adopt one of the other cats there, and that's Peach. Anyway, so Zakopane was the best. So Jeff, the guy from said Pete LeBlanc story, he was a guitar player. He used to play guitar, and he used to sing and stuff. So he decided that he would write a song for everyone, and that we would get on the terps and he would sing everyone's song when we were in Zakopane. And that's exactly what we did. We all got on the sauce. We were sitting in a beautiful Polish town. We went out for dinner at a mad Polish restaurant. We had the best night, just hanging out, singing songs, playing the guitar. Incredible times. Meow, meow, meow. Hey, what are you doing? Funny cat. I've seen it for a couple of days. Paint my block. Correct. Yes. Sorry if I wasn't clear on that. Get on the Terps is indeed Australian for have quite a few beverages of an alcoholic nature. Correct, North Fire there is. That was what reminded me of it. That night where I actually filmed a lot of that, and we all got our songs on film. I don't remember what mine was. Off the top of my head, but we had a karate guy who's a karate coach, and he got kung fu fighting. Everybody was kung fu fighting. Great, yeah, it is a good phrase, isn't it? Love Australian slang. Ah, Potsy, yeah. No, he's a great character, Potsy. Really great character. Had a ripping good time. I used to hang out at his house pretty much for the last, I reckon, 15 years of my life. I've had someone that I've done Tuesday night games with. It used to be Potsy. Used to do Tuesday night games at Potsy's house. Go over, play some War Machine, cook up a barbecue, have a good night. These days I go to my friend Darren's house, play board games, have a good night. But yeah, Potsy is really a grade character. Just for what it's worth, North Fire, I'm sure not super relevant, but mate, he ended up losing a shit ton of weight last year. He's looking trim as now. Yeah, he's looking amazing. Really great. Good for him. Meanwhile, Big Deno just keeps packing on the keggers. Probably from the beers. Thank you, Mr. Lopez. Yeah, Randall lost all of his weight because of my great feedback. Thank you, Randall. Potsy. We asked Moopsy to pull the emails out the other day, like send us all the emails. We wanted to read them. He used to like copy paste bits of the emails into the chat. Wow. Oh, g'day, FR3DR Printing R friend. Welcome. Fred, excellent. FR3D, the 3D printing. Fred, the 3D printing. G'day, Fred. Welcome, buddy. Welcome indeed. Peach, come over here so I can look at your colours, mate, so I can try and paint you. Come on, Peach. White Wolf Ranger, that is actually a Sony AX33 Handycam that is being connected to my computer via an Elgato Cam Link. It's a fair question, Norsefire. I don't really miss it. I kind of wish I missed it more, but I just don't. It'd be so hard to top the experiences I had. When I look back, we were horrifically unlucky in several tournaments that potentially. I mean, I came second at the Iron Gauntlet World Championships twice. I came fourth at the WTC twice, and 3 times if you include the OETC, and 4 times if you include the War Machine or Warhammer ETC. So if I look back and think, wow, it would have been awesome to win those events or to do better in those events, then, but that's not sort of how I feel when I think back of it. I think more about those times, those incredible holidays that we had, playing putt with the boys in a completely another country. We went to Kuala Lumpur for 3 days, and we used to hang out in the night noodle markets, just sitting at a table having a laugh. It was just a great time. So that's what I miss more than anything else, the camaraderie of all of my friends seeing each other regularly. And that's not something that happens anymore. We don't really have that same level of connectivity, shared interest that we used to have, because we don't play the same games anymore. They're sort of getting more into board games now these days, which is really cool. But we don't talk about that stuff anywhere near as much as we used to in competitive miniature gaming. I would like to have something to engage sort of my brain in more. Just like army list writing and all that sort of stuff. That was one of the things that I used to really enjoy, just tweaking with lists and having to think about different strategies you could employ, and just having that constantly evolving meta and game state that you could think about. That was the funnest bit for me, probably. Yeah, at Brisbane tourneys, they'd all come up and stay with me for the weekend. They'd come up on a Thursday night. We'd go play indoor soccer together, and it was awesome. Yeah, the one thing that we have still got going on is CanCon, which is a tournament convention every year. And even though we all sort of play different games now or do different things, like I'm into my painting and those guys are into, Leaks is into 40k, and a couple of the other guys are into different games or whatever, we all still get together for CanCon because all of those things are at the one place, and that's the one time of the year we've got together and sort of managed to reconnect and keep all the friendships solid. And guess what didn't happen this year, friends? And guess how much we missed it. I started playing tournaments for Warhammer very, very young, comparatively, I guess. My first ever Warhammer tournament was an event called Maelstrom. I don't know if you remember that, Paul. 95, 96, 96 or 97, I think it was. And it was held at the Mount Gravatt TAFE off Marshall Road, the very first year. And I played with my Lisbon army. I had a Slan and a Stegodon, which made up over 50% of my army, so I didn't have many models to paint. I did okay, got crushed. I think, how old was I then? I was 13, 14. Had to convince my mum to drive me and my two mates to it. We had a drive schedule, so I'd get my mum to drive us one morning, and then other mum would pick us up that night, vice versa, just so we could all get there, and none of the parents had to do too much driving. It was great. I'm 38 this year. I turned 38 in just over a week, actually, week and a bit. Oh yeah, cool. No, I do remember those actually. Ah, White Wolf. Don't worry about age, mate. It's just a number. That's what I tell my girlfriend when I act like a 4-year-old. Okay. That's awesome, mate. That is awesome. Well, I hope you're enjoying it as much as I enjoy it. It is one of the most satisfying hobbies, experiences. I probably find this more satisfying than all of my success in miniature gaming over many, many years. And I was wildly successful, by the way. I was the #1 ranked player for Warhammer. #1 ranked player for War Machine in Australia. #2 in the world. Absolute fucking jet. But you don't get to. I get more. Oh, Nicky Jags, you're killing me, mate. You're killing me tonight. Come on, pal. I looked after you today and everything. Now you're coming in here, you're just ripping me to bits. Poor guy. Oh, mate. I fucking played a tournament with Nips, right? Nips has been playing AOS for however long, like fucking years. Big Dano goes and plays the first tournament and I fucking finished higher than the idiot. That guy's a peanut. Couldn't organise his way out of a wet paper bag, that guy. So I don't know if you guys have sort of been paying much attention to my painting tonight, but I'm not really doing anything. I'm just sort of fucking around, like bouncing around and stuff. Haven't really got a focus. Not really like trying to achieve anything. I'm just painting. Which I think sometimes is what you need to do. You just need to relax and not stress about what you're trying to do. Just do stuff. No, not at all, Norsefire, not at all. You probably missed this, but the stream started awfully tonight. I started it, and then my computer fucking shut itself. So I restarted my computer, and then because I changed the plugs to try and make my stream work better like Flick told me to, and it fucking worked worse, I had to restart my computer again and rejig everything in a different way. But we're at that point now. This is the point we're at. It's all looking okay. So maybe it's worked out all right in the end. And then to top that off, we started the stream by looking at my model that I was super jazzed to have arrived today. And I get it beside the other models in my diorama, and it's just fucking awful. Wumposaurus, show me. I definitely didn't do it wrong, Flick. I'm not an absolute fuckwit. No one's made me sing tonight. I just realised I shouldn't have said that. Alright, the action-like pose is a bit of a negative for me because I'm sort of got a very restful pose for most of the other ones, but that may still work. I may still be able to make that work. Let me just... Alright, let's have a Bo Peep. Yeah, I think that's key. Nah. I've got him over there, actually. I've got him. Severax v Solrak. That's Severac. Also, don't buy from that guy. That's a recast resin. Don't buy that. Don't be that guy. Or girl. Don't buy recast. Buy genuine. Brandon, to make me sing songs, you have to spend points. You have to spend points. You have to click a button down the bottom that says spend $10, and you have to make me sing a song. But I shan't be doing that because you don't have enough points, and I know that. Hopefully. It's just waving a red rag to a bull, isn't it? Fuck! What are you making me sing, Dr. Flink? What are you making me sing? You get to pick the song. But if I don't know it, I get to choose the song. We're waiting, Dr. Flink. I've been married a long time ago. Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from? Cotton Eye Joe. Flashback for all those other fans of Cotton Eye Joe. Yeah, that was my own fault. That was my own fault. You talking about these figures that I'm painting, Fred? Or are you talking about just the other models we've been showing? Mate, they're all purchased from miniature companies, so they aren't 3D printed generally. They are usually cast. They may have digitally been sculpted and printed at some point, but they are not. However, for my diorama, I did get a friend of mine to 3D print this very cool panther. So that will be something I'll be painting for the diorama. Nice quality actually on the 3D print. Normally I dislike 3D prints because you can see the layer lines and stuff, or whatever it is, but yeah, this is a really clean cast, so I'm pretty happy with that. You haven't redeemed your points, Randall. You can't make me sing When Doves Cry without redeeming points. Don't redeem points. Don't do it, Lopez, please. You're killing me. Well, that's a fun anecdote, isn't it? You got 100 points, mate. You can't spend 100 points to make me sing a song. Otherwise, people would just come here and just make me sing whenever they wanted. That would be awful. I have no idea what that sentence means, Jen. That could be the most gibberish-filled sentence I've ever read in my life. That's probably why the sentence was so unrecognisable. Peachy, you're eating some food. Good for you. Good for you. I'm going all Colwell on this. G'day, Ajdal. Have I done a video on skin tones? I believe I have. And in fact, I believe I did one entirely on painting a female face. And I'm sure one of the amazing people in the chat will be able to link that for you momentarily. Time for a calf as mini of the year finito. I think I follow now. Yeah, mini number 9 of the year is a bit of a weird flex, really, when you think about it, isn't it? What's your point, Wumposaurus? How many do you reckon I've finished, mate? You know what? I think I'm going to glue this to the model. I don't think I'm going to need to do anything else in this area here. And I don't think this... Let me just check if it's going to inhibit my face painting of the eyes. That's it, Sharky. It's all about enjoying it. Yeah, I think that'll be fine. I'm going to glue this down, friends. It's all about enjoyment, friends. It's all about enjoying what you are doing. And I did not start the night enjoying what I was doing. Because of my stupid fucking model being the stupid wrong fucking scale. You fucking useless fucking model. Just in case anyone missed that, I'll pull it out now. Oh fuck, come on. Dumb fuck. I'll pull it out now and show you. So this is a diorama. This is Drizzt. So in the story, Drizzt is a fucking dark elf and he's very slight and he's average height. Right? So then I bought this model that I was planning on using for Wulfgar. Wulfgar is a barbarian, a big brutish barbarian who is 7 foot tall and is a behemoth. And so I purchased this model. Given that they're both 75mm scale, I thought, yeah, this fucking Wulfgar, hurrah! What the fuck? What the fuck? Fuck! Wulfgar, you're so piss weak. Look at you, you little weedy fuck. So that is no longer Wulfgar. So instead we shall have the Prince of Eternia riding Battlecat as Wulfgar. He-Man! He-Man! I'm going to test out my sculpting skills. I mean, I probably could Wumposaurus, but I wonder if that would be illegal. And I believe the answer to that would be yes, it is. It's a debate that I am not particularly interested in investing time in. Because I'll just choose to support my friends' companies. Because I do know the people that make that model. It's Francesco and Pietro. I know. It is a shame. But we get to try some sculpting, which is good. It means I get to try and practice something that I'm not great at. Which is a good opportunity to be better. Fucking hell, well, Make it a good song at least. Yeah, it's a weird and wonderful world, the world of 3D printing, and the legalities is a piece that is quite difficult. I probably will disappoint you. I'm an awful singer, and that will be disappointing for everyone. Alright guys, looks like the stream's finishing up early tonight. Sorry for that, but see you all later. See you next time. Just kidding, I wouldn't do that to you. Do the darkness. I believe in a thing called love. Sharkwell. Peach, I can't believe you're here, by the way. Oh, Flickstar, what are you doing? You guys are fun. But is that song that's just like, I'm blue, diamond, diamond, diamond? Is that one? Is that it? I don't really remember the lyrics of that. It's just the same thing. I'm blue, diamond, 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 diamond. I have a blue house with a blue window. Something else about curtains and something, oh well. I have a blue house and a blue street too. I have a girlfriend and she is so blue. Is that it? There you go. And I ain't got nobody to listen. I'm blue, da 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 da. Don't know the lyrics that well. I do have a really weird memory, right? Like I will remember numbers like crazy. Like I can remember every phone number at all of my workplace. I can remember lots of lyrics from lots of songs. Like I can't for the life of me tell you what my mum and dad's birthdays are. I do not have any fucking idea. I ended up putting them in my phone so that I would be reminded, so that I wouldn't forget. And yet I can remember in detail stories about Pete LeBlanc. So the only problem, Wampa, it's not really a problem, but it is for me, is that I'm not prepared to wait X amount of months for that to happen. I am ready to start my diorama this week. I'm excited to start my diorama this week. And so I will be starting my diorama, rain, hail or shine, this fucking week. Or when I finish this model. But that's a good fact, actually. Well done for looking that up. Oh, no. What are you doing to me? Come on, Scale. Come on, Celery. No, to get something shipped from overseas takes months at the moment. I ordered those at the start of, or mid-December. I ordered those models. They just turned up now, the last 2 weeks. She ain't got nobody to listen. That's a good question, Captain Carp, but no. The Drizzt is probably too big. That is probably a fair statement. And you know, we could get around that by printing out the if you guys get me into Disney songs, right? We'll be singing them all night. It's the planet. Sorry, I can't remember the rest of the words. How's it go? Hang on. No, it's something about the planets and the circle of life. Shit like that. It's the circle of life. That's it. From the day we arrived to the planet. Here's a fun fact for you. My friend Moopsy, whom you would all be familiar with from tonight's story, he actually plays in a orchestra. He's a very, very skilled musician, and he actually played the Lion King musical when he was back doing that a little bit more regularly. So he was a big fan of that song, and he did Legally Blonde, the musical, and there was one other one he did that I liked. Oh, he never did Wicked. Wicked's my favourite musical, but he never did that. Yeah, The Lion King is a fantastic movie. I watched that with my parents when I was a little wee tacker. Wicked! Yes, how good is Wicked? I've seen it 3 times. I saw it at the Apollo Theatre in London, which was unreal, and then I've seen it twice in Australia. I love Wicked. Wicked! What song would you make me sing if you had 5,000 points, Lopez? Not very far. Alright, I'm going to go edit a lot further with a few more beers. I'm going to go edit that 5,000 points so that it's every song except for that song, Randall. Oh, Daryl Braithwaite. I could sing that without 5,000 points, mate. But I won't. That's a good fact, Sharkwald. That is a very good fact indeed. Yeah, so Moopsy he was quite keen to get into film scoring as a career for a while. And then I think he realised that it was just not a feasible option for a normal human. I mean, he is quite good, but in a hotly competitive field like that, he can score a movie. He can score one of my movies if he wants. Are you still hanging out, Peach? What are you doing? I wonder if she went for a walk again. Pretty much. I don't know about you guys, but I'm sort of quite enjoying how this model's coming together. It's pretty good. Pretty good, actually. What's the guy who did Star Wars? Anderson? Someone? John Williams, that's it. Thank you. He also did Jurassic Park. That's a bit sad. But he's retired. I wasn't aware of that. Is that some obscure reference, Dr. Flink, that I don't know, that I don't get? Oh, you fucking mug, you idiot. Is it raining where you are, Lopez? I feel like it just started raining. Weird. It is definitely raining. It is definitely raining. Jack and Sled, you got the Hammer Brothers out, did you? Alright, we are going to try and do a wee little bit of sculpting on He-Man tonight. Well, maybe not sculpting, but we'll just try and cut the model apart and see if it's going to work. I'll have to listen to it. I do know that song, unfortunately. And just so you all know, I've committed to if I know a song to singing it, even if I don't want to sing it because you guys are stitching me up. I've committed to singing it. You are pretty keen for this diorama, aren't you, mate? I don't know how to do it, Flink. I don't know how to do it. I could probably figure it out, but yeah, I'm just not much of it. As dumb as it sounds, I'm not really much of a music guy. Like I don't have music on at home when I'm just walking around the house. You know, I know people that just have music on all the time. The moment they get up, they put music on. I'm not really that guy. I don't really listen to it. We used to have it on at my workplace when I was working, and yeah, I mean, I like music, but yeah, just not. Maybe at some point I'll decide to do it, but it's not high on the list of priorities right now. I think more important is we just get the equipment working properly, which seems to be going okay so far tonight after the disastrous start. Exactly, mate. I do it so you guys can listen to my singing. Would we say dulcet though? Would that be the word we'd use? Dulcet? I don't think it would. So this is a fun... Oh, g'day Earthband Brick. Welcome to the stream. My experience with painting female faces tells me that the eyebrows are very important, but they're also very tricky to get right. These are okay, but they're not perfect. Dulcet. Sweet and soothing. Well, that is right then. In that case, I do have dulcet tones. I think that's a fair observation. And thank you for agreeing with me. Alright, buddy. Oh, well, say hi to your sister for me. Not in a creepy way, though. I have a girlfriend. But just say hi to her. Unless she's really attractive, in which case say hi in a creepy way. Don't do that, really. Nah, I'm just kidding. Been with my girlfriend for 3 years. She's a rock star. Like my life as it is right now. Oh, thanks Kung Fu Shrew. I'm glad that you feel this is astonishing progress. I feel quite like this is just taking fucking forever. But it is what it is, mate. Just Shmino, welcome. Thank you for following, mate. Alright. G'day, Fazoid. Yeah, I started this yesterday's stream, and we're, what are we at now? So this is probably about 4 hours, maybe? 4 hours work, I reckon. Yeah, I've spent a lot of time telling stories tonight. And singing, yeah. It was a good story, though. It was worth the fucking story. Worth the time. So I have this thing with my cat, right? My cat's the best. She's a fucking legend. She's also quite a solitary creature. She loves hanging out by herself, which is cool. These are seashells, by the way. They're really mad in there. Little seashells. So anyway, to not go too deep into a very long story, I got married, and it ended very, very quickly afterwards in a completely amicable and very unexpected way. And so I was forced to move out by myself after being with my partner for nearly 8 years. And we had a dog and a cat. I got the cat. It was my cat anyway, but I got the cat. And she's a really cool dude, but she's not often affectionate. She likes doing her own thing. But I tell you what, the first few months when I was pretty upset about everything, she was the coolest. She would come and she would lie down with me at night when I was going to sleep. She would just be there, lying next to me, making sure I was okay. And she did that every night for 6 months, I reckon. She doesn't do it now because she knows I'm just chilling now. But I reckon animals can sense that sort of stuff. And I wonder if she knows I was having a bad day today and was like, I'm going to come hang out with my boy. I like to think that's why she came home tonight, to hang out, why she's still here. That's a good fact. It's a good fact, Sharkwald. I just heard the door. She's just leaving. Obviously, she doesn't care that much. I'm having a bad time. Come on, Peach. Fucking hell, mate. Can't you tell what's going on? My stream wouldn't work. People making me fucking sing. Yeah, she's the best. She's a good little mate. So I like painting her. Whenever I paint cats, I always like to paint her. Surprisingly, not a lot of cats though in miniature painting. There's a few, but not really models I paint. Very rarely are there cats. Yeah, it's super weird. Like, she genuinely knew that I was upset all the time, and she would just come and hang out, just sit there, like boop her face into my face, and yeah, it was really awesome. Um, my dog, on the other hand, my dog that I lost, Plum, I was always the favourite, right? She used to just, anytime there was an opportunity to sit on someone, she was a Chihuahua, she would go and sit on me. And my girlfriend used to get so upset. My girlfriend, then wife, then ex-wife, would pick up Plum and put her on her lap, and Plum would be like, stand up and just fucking walk over to my lap. That was good, very satisfying. Do love animals. That is a cool cat, mate. If it's in love with your printer. All right, I think we might just call this done for the night. This model. She's going okay. So this is the viewing angle. I'll just pull it back a bit. So we're going to have it just slightly off to the side. Try your luck in the big city, mate. You never know. That printer might go for you. Got to throw your hat in the ring. This sort of angle is the right angle. So if you have a look at this face, the highlighting is very, very specific. Come on, Layfez, you've got to watch for a long time to get 5,000 points. The highlight angle is very specific. It's highlighted such that the light is coming from the top down. But when you look at it from that angle, we do need to increase the light in this spot here. You can see this angle, you've struggled a little bit with this area here. There should be light here. In the same way the light's coming down here, should have some here, and there should be a little bit more here as well. Not a dramatic amount, but yeah. Needs a bit of tweaking. The hand, if you have a look at the hand of the face versus this stuff, you can see the lack of how the airbrush is really smooth and added interesting tones to that. I do need to do that with this section as well. Thanks, Earthman Brick. Good on you, mate. You're a champion. That's a good call, Fen. Yep. Exactly. So you've got the light up the top there, and then you've got the same sort of light on this side, but then you've still got some light here and there. So that's exactly what you need to consider when doing that. So if I was looking at front on as the optimal viewing angle, so that's your front on, you can see how this whole side looks like it is under highlighted, sorry. Whereas when you turn it slightly like this, we get a much more correct looking highlight situation, but that's still a problem. So given that there will be some turning of the model, we may actually add some lighting here from this angle anyway, just to create a bit more visual interest when you're looking at the front on shot. I'll do what I did before Kung Fu. I'll bang some contrast in and then glaze back down to bring it down. I also need to add a few more lights to the skin, and then a bit more colour and stuff. I like the clothes. The fabric's got some interesting colours and shades and tones, a bit ethereal looking. Let's actually do a little bit of that there. Bit of fun with these. And I'm not doing too much with the back of the model, because first of all, no fucker looks at the back anyway, but Also because we've got to put that big wood thing at the back. So we'll do that first, and then we'll worry about if there's any stuff on the back we need to paint. Alright, I like it. Feeling okay about it. I think it's my best work. The sort of desaturated palette is I keep trying to force myself to not just bang heaps of colours and saturated stuff in there, but it is still got colours. I'm going to tone this down as well, but the skin tone does need more light, and the hair in particular here needs a lot more light. So I'll do that next stream. We may actually end up starting this next stream though. Yeah, mate, me too. Check this out. Bang. That's Big Deno in a nutshell right there. Fucking get some of that up ya. Look at all these fucking weak ass colours up on this model. Anyway, maybe I'll start this next time, so we can do something a bit different. But this will be pretty quick actually. It's just wooden candles. Farzoid, I'm sure I probably could. I do have a PayPal, but don't feel like you have to do that. I don't know. Let me send me a whisper or something, mate. Like, because I need to look into why. Yeah, just punch it in there, eh? Alright, let's try doing this. This is weighing on me spiritually right now. This stuff. So we've got to try this. I feel a heavy burden in my soul. Alright, so when I'm going to try and talk through my thought process here, okay? So when you're trying to change legs like this, there's two or three issues. So the first is the musculature is never correct. So when you try to straighten everything, the musculature won't be accurate. But looking at these, this is actually relatively correct. Relatively correct in terms of from this angle. I may need to add a little bit more of this muscle. Randall might tell you, Open Gangnam Style. Randall, what's this muscle here called, mate? If you're still there. The quadricep. Not the quadricep. Isn't there one that's off to the side of the quadricep, though? Well, there's the quads at the front, and then this little big one to the side, or is that still the quaddy? Might still be the quad. Anyway, this musculature is still relatively correct, but the problem is the angle's not right. So the first thing I need to do, I'm not going to be too much worried about the back, right? So we can chop this to bits, that's not a problem. I'm not too much worried about this stuff here, because that's pretty dog shit sculpting. It's just like some plastic hard plates. So what I'm going to try and do, the first thing I'm going to try and do is snip this bad boy off around there. I do have a Dremel for this. I could use my Dremel. Alright. So that's step one. So what we want to do is now look at this. So we want that to sit straight down like that. And you can also see that this whole leg bit here is not correct, but the knee is. So the next thing I'm going to do is snip this at this angle, like that. Yeah, I do have one. I do have a razor saw. So now we'll just do a little scrapey, just like a mould line while we can. I might get the saw out, actually, the old Dremel. So I have a, what's the worst thing? Oh, thank you, Randall. That's a good fact. There you go, friends. Vastus lateralis. That is the name of the muscle. I have my my Dremel just hanging right beside me. Very useful to just be able to pop it out and start drilling away or doing stuff. But I need to change. I normally only use the one size drill bit, but I am going to use a smaller drill bit here, I think. Apologise in advance, friends, if this is less interesting than normal. Less interesting than normal Deno painting. We've got to mix things up though, haven't we? Alright, so now I'm going to drill that bad boy. So the problem with this is, first of all, that angle is not right of this thing for joining up with that. He-Man! He-Man! So I have a variety of little bits and bobs of wire that I buy from my local hobby shop. This is brass rod. Actually, this might be not the right size. Is it the right size? No, that's the right size. Beautiful. So we're just going to try snipping this off like so. We'll start a little bit bigger, and then we will go smaller as needed. Cool. So that is not quite the right spot for that knee. So that needs to be in a different spot. Doo-doo-doo. My conversion, as a long story, Fin Shark. Let me have a gibber about my conversion approach first, and then I'll answer that question. So my conversion approach takes on a similar approach to my painting, which is to say I just try shit. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. All right, so that looks about right. Cool. So I have I'm sure I've talked about my accelerant before, but pretty much every conversion I do uses accelerant because it just makes everything so much fucking easier, right? Just get a bit of the old super glue going, bang, accelerant, job done. So you can build up the broad strokes volumes of a conversion remarkably quickly without having to fuck around. Alright, so let me explain Fin Shark. I'm sure this looks like a criminal offence what I'm doing at the moment, but I've got plans for a diorama which is based on some characters from the Forgotten Realms, Drizzt and Catti-brie and Wulfgar and Bruenor Battlehammer, if you're familiar with them. If you're not familiar with them, that won't mean anything what I just said. But the problem was that the models that I bought, even though they're the same scale, we had a difference in scale that means the model I had selected for Wulfgar, who's supposed to be a giant barbarian, is smaller than the model I selected for Drizzt, who is a little elf. So it is not going to work. So we now are forced to just cut sick on this and try again. So try again with a model that I didn't really have plans to do this to. I sort of was going to put him on a different animal at some point maybe. But now we are just chopping this model to bits. Poor He-Man, Prince of Eternia. For Prince Adam. Well, he's still going to be alive, isn't he? What? Haha, thanks Fazoid. G'day Armazamargo, 82, you're 1 year older than me. Assuming that 82 stands for your age. Rumble in the jungle. It's a good idea. It's a good idea. Skeletor. So in theory, right, what I'm doing here is very similar to what sculptors do, in that I'm creating a framework to sculpt over. The advantage of me using this stuff is I have to sculpt significantly less than I would have had to sculpt normally. I mean, we could do something really crazy, right, and have him like standing on a rock. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that actually. Fuck. Cool. Why not? On Skeletor's skull. Boom. Okay, so what we'll try and do now is position his legs so that we can get him standing upright, but we are going to need to do this. What a weird stream we've had tonight, friends. Hey, a lot of weird moments. Excellent. Oh, thanks, Ash Medino. Yeah, there's bits of resin flying everywhere. Oh, Miss Jana, what are you doing to me? Here was me thinking we're going to get out of the stream with no more songs. What have I got? Be a man, you must be swift as a coursing river. Be a man with all the force of a great typhoon. Be a man with all the strength of a raging fire, mysterious as the dark side of the moon. Yeah, love Disney songs. Love them. Good choice. Thank you. No, thank you, Miss Jana. That was a great choice of a song. I'm never gonna catch my breath. Say goodbye to those who knew me. Boy, was I a fool in school for cutting Jim. Hope he doesn't see right through me. Now I really wish that I knew how to swim. Be a man. Be he man, you must be swift as a coursing. Sorry, I realise I'm not supposed to go for too long. So this one is the important angle. Is it? It's one of my favourites too. One of my favourites. My sister and I, we have travelled overseas together, and when we selected our playlist for driving around Europe, we had 70% Disney songs. And I can probably sing most of the words to most Disney songs. Proudly. Whoops. Try not to drill your keyboard, idiot. So this looks like he's jumping through the air. Huzzah! And the advantage of using the wire in the way that I'm using it here is I can still continue to just make some bends and some twists if I'm not quite happy with the positioning of things. So here's a fun story. Well, it's not really a story, but I used to work in Games Workshop store, and yeah, we used to have all sorts of weird metal songs, and everyone used to pick like CDs that we listened to, and I was never allowed to pick CDs. But I did get an education in a lot of cool bands that I ended up really liking. Like, for example, At the Drive-In, System of a Down. Still to this day, very much enjoy listening to both of those bands. Queens of the Stone Age, Metallica, etc. So I like those songs as well. Just a quite eclectic mix. Alright, so we need to shape this leg out a bit more. The leg doesn't have quite enough musculature at the moment because it was narrowed to be sitting on a stool. But if we put this cloak on and we twist this up like that, I reckon that's not too bad. The angle of the camera is hard to get it right. But yeah, we may need to squeak a little bit more, particularly on this leg. It may need to come down a bit actually. Back in my day, mate, used to just be picked by the store manager. But I heard the other day that they did change that you had to play approved music only. Alright, moment of truth. He's still a bit smaller, but the physicality of him is better, and I reckon I can get away with it by putting him in a giant rock, and have that elevation. They're about the same height at the moment. No, they're not. But I will probably just like tweak this a little bit, add a little bit more height here, a little bit more height here, a little bit more height here. And then, oh, sorry, Drizzed. And then we've got to use this arm somehow. Maybe I can have him holding something like a tree branch. That would look particularly ordinary, I think. The other option is we can sculpt the rest of this arm and have this sort of hanging here like this. With Aegis Fang resting on his knee. That might work. Yeah, he's going to be at the back, Paul. He's going to be escalated at the back. I'll just nah. They're the good guys, mate. They don't do too many bad stuff, holding up severed heads, etc. They do hold up some walls. I'm just going to bring up the picture of the diorama, and I'll just show you where he's going to sit. Stand by. We must be swift as a coursing river, with all the force of a great typhoon, mysterious as the dark side of the moon. Before I change this, oh shit, every fucking time. That photo obviously is not the original. That someone's wrote "Happy Birthday, Mooch, see you in Ireland." So that was after he'd found out it was Pete. But the original one, Potsy'd actually printed out a sign and made him hold it up. It was great. So Wolfgar's going to stand at the back behind Caddy Bree on the left, behind Gwen, beside that pillar. I'm going to have him quite elevated, and that'll make him look even more... Oh, you know what? I just realised it's fucking dumb of me. I've got Wolfgar and Eileen on the same rock. That might be out of my skill set, Captain Cup. I can sculpt. Don't think I could sculpt that. Maybe I could. I don't know. What do we want? A girl worth fighting for. Alright. You think the raised arm works? Just the rest of them are sort of like hanging out. It feels a bit weird for him to be like, I have the power! So good. Alright, it's 10 o'clock, friends. It's 10 o'clock. We're finishing up for the night. Wowee. What a weird stream we had tonight. I'm glad we got it done, actually. Because I feel like we made some great breakthroughs tonight, friends. We managed to put all of the frustration and negative energy aside. And we managed to get some great work done. Let me just do a real smidgy quick vacuum of this little space. And then we'll pull out that girl that I painted tonight and we'll have a look. Over the shoulder. Like this, you reckon? Let's do it. Let's do that. I'm not doing that! I'm gonna mute this, friends, so you don't get subjected to me vacuuming. Cleanliness is next to godliness, friends. Here's where we ended up with Baba Yaga. So that's a pretty good effort, I think. I'm relatively happy with that. I feel like we've had a reasonable... What? Oh, it is a different mic. Why the fuck would it change that, I wonder? You crazy, crazy thing. There you go. That's back to my good mic. That changed to one of these fucking webcam mics for some reason. What a fucking night of shit. Yep. there you go. I like it. I like it. The cat still needs some work. Just broadly speaking, this particular shadow is too dark. Same with this particular shadow. They need to be a little bit less intensely shadowy for it to look right. Because there's not a lot of that level of shadow. The box has actually got little shells in it. Shell them! Little shells. So I'm just going to paint little shells somehow. I think normal people probably would have not glued the top part of the box down. What's in the box? Yeah, so we need to finish off the metals, the golds. We need to finish off the hair. We need to do the flowers. We need to do the box and the shells. And then we just got to sort out this skin area here and the face. We need to make sure that's right. And then that will probably come close to finishing her. I don't see her having a lot more stuff to do to her. I could keep going with it for ages, right? Like I could just keep mucking around doing stuff, tweaking bits and pieces. But I'm happy with where she's at the moment. So let's not overcomplicate things. So we'll do this next time. I reckon. This has been annoying me for fucking days. These little bits. Farzoid, I'm not 100% sure I understand your question. Is it, how do you paint a white cat? Because you have a bust coming that you want to paint a white cat on? Or is it, you want some suggestions on how to paint your white cat? What colours you want to paint your white cat? I would suggest magenta. Vibrant magenta. Although I've been told that cats don't enjoy being painted. I've never tried to paint Peach, but I don't reckon she'd love it. I have a bad enough time doing her little flea stuff when I put it on her head. She loses her shit. Imagine trying to paint her, wouldn't go great. So painting white is a much broader conversation that I probably don't have time to get into tonight, because it is actually a very involved question. So let's shelve that for another stream. And if I talk about it and you're not on the stream, I will remind you that I spoke about it the next time you get on. And you can just go and watch one of the YouTubes. But yeah, very rare. To answer the question broadly, white is very, 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 very rarely ever white. And to make it look white, you never use white until the very end. So you want to paint it with colours that are representative of the environment. But we'll talk more on a future stream, friends. All right, good work, team. Good work, team, tonight. I feel much better today after this stream. So thank you for that. You've enriched my life and added value, and I thank you. I thank you all. Let's go and have a raid, shall we? Let's find some motherfuckers to raid. Motherfucking raid! Raid! Celery, I'm never going to be able to fucking remember that's you. Celery, I'm never going to be able to fucking remember that's you. Celery. That was cool. Fucking hell. See you, Fen. Alright, who are we going to raid? I'm just going to look for here. What do we got here? Mini Matties. What are you doing, Mini Matties? Are you a cool guy?
The Abyssal Blue. Folks, welcome in. The Scottish accent is on my multi-partner today, the Berserker. So if you click that multi-link underneath your message, you can see us both painting up some minis.
Do we know anything about him? See you, Sharkwold. See you, Fazoid. See you, Nicky Jag. See you, Paul. See you, Kung Fu. Thanks, Wampa. Thanks, Rumble. Thanks, Fen. Thanks, Celery. Alright, I think this guy looks cool. Let's help this guy out. Let's give this guy a little raidy raid. Here we go. See you, Captain Carp.
get some really, really nice subtle tones in these paints.
Yep.
So smooth.
Especially if you just glaze
All right,
them.
friends. Thanks for a great night.
Might take
Genuinely
layers, but, you know,
made my day. Thank you very much.
I have actually, yes. And yes, I do have a kilt before you ask. Fox, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome on into the boat.
Big Dow coming in with a rate of 76. Damn, guys, welcome.
Welcome on in.
That's a big rate joining us. Welcome, guys.
One fight.
Great indeed, Big Dino. Guys, we're doing a multi today with the Bro Zerker as well.
Hello.
I'm not the only one. Thanks,
Very
Stinger.
my cheap pocket I look in than I am.
Eh.
Easier on the eyes.
Further away from the camera, so that might be the reason why I'm